Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show. Jack Chow on the East-West Show with the G&E TV. For the past 1 week, the world has been saddened with what happened in Paris and what is happening even right now in Paris. Even though that happened thousands of miles away, tens of thousands of miles away from us, we feel that we are so close to them. That's why President Barack Obama made in his statement that we are American people with the French people at this very moment. So what happened was bad enough. What happened was serious enough. And we see, the way I see it, it has been brought to a higher elevation, higher gratitude, so that it is probably time we should say something differently. We should do something differently. In checking with the possibilities about what we do, I have invited my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, to come join me to share his thoughts. Together, probably, we'll find a solution, quote unquote, solution, quote unquote, for people, for my dear audiences, because I love you so much. I love our community. I wish, with my fingers crossed, that nothing of the same nature happens in the United States, happens nearby us, happens to us. Okay, anyway, Ken, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack. You know my honor being with you and your viewers, and this is a subject that has great interest to every citizen in America.
Yeah, sure. Normally when I express my welcome to you, I smile from left to right, year to year, but today, no.
Right.
It's
a very somber occasion.
Yeah, very good. What's the nature of what happened in Paris?
Well, one thing I'd like to say, as you mentioned, it happened thousands of miles away, but there's a school in California right now where one of the young people that was killed over there would be in a class right now, but didn't show up for school because she's dead. So we have Americans that were injured and killed also. So, the world's getting smaller, and we are suffering just as much as the French people are, even though we have a little distance. So what's my overall deal is that, there are, every breath we take, there are certain groups of people, the jihadists, that are planning to do something of a catastrophic nature to get the attention of the world as to their desire to, really have a Muslim world. And so this is just, there were 8 people, maybe there's another 1 or 2 that were involved in all of this, certainly more in the planning. And with the European Union being very open with no borders, they're able to move around and be undetected in accomplishing their evil desires. And so this was just the culmination of one.
Which exactly made themselves vulnerable.
Right, exactly.
More vulnerable because you do not have those secure lines as strong as it used to be.
And right now, there's like 10 of the 28 countries in the European Union are closing their borders. Now, it's a little bit late, but that's what they're doing. And, in America, we have our issues with our own borders. And, we know there's a lot of drugs and things come across the borders that really aren't welcome in America. And that's what's happening now. There's a reaction coming. Merkel, the premier, of Germany, who has very many attributes that are lovely, but she's had this open welcome to all of the refugees, and now there's a lot of pushback against that.
It was about only 2 weeks ago we had a show praising her for accepting about 3% of his population.
No, they want
as refugees.
Yeah, they've got 80 million.
To get them a home, offer them a job, something like that. Now it is time we say, who is going to guarantee among the 3%, right?
Right. And it's impossible to.
There are no bad guys.
And it's impossible to.
Could be bad guys in guidance.
Yeah.
Right?
See,
could be bad guys later on when they have a full stomach.
Get radicalized.
Get radicalized.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of these are Syrian refugees, and there are no records in Syria maintained. Syria is our enemy. They're not being nice to us. And so our country right now is saying we can vet these people carefully enough to assure us that they're that they're safe and not radicalized, but it's impossible, and so it's a statement of falsehood.
What is exactly, or what had been exactly the terrorists are pursuing? Are they killing for the purpose of killing, or are they killing for the purpose of expressing something?
Well, they're killing
or delivering a message.
Their message for infidels, and if you are not a obsessive follower of Muhammad, you are an infidel. And so you have a choice to convert to Islam or to die. And that's what the whole thing is.
All right.
And right now, a little more heavily than America, but not really much, and it will be in America. They're here now. Europe is a target because it's so open and easy to do damage in Europe.
And also the news said that they have declared or threatened that they have planted those attacks in 15 states of the United States.
So they're here.
If that was true, if the news was true, though,
Right.
anything of the same nature, anything of the similar nature could happen to us.
It will happen to us. It's not good. There's no question Americans breathing right now will ultimately, some will be dead because of this kind of activity. There's no question, because that's what they want to do, and they can do it. And then if we let a lot of the refugees in here, there's always some in there that are really, and the thing that's really hard to fight is when a person's happy to die. Our soldiers, always fight to live, and go home and kiss their mother. But these guys want to end up their activities with death. That's why they all wear these suicide vests. And when anybody else comes in with a gun that would fight them, they blow themselves up because they're afraid to fight.
That's exactly the problem, where the problems are.
It's a big one.
Right?
It's a big one.
In most of the cases, about 98% or even 99%, you may retaliate, you may scare, you may try to threaten, you may wage something, make them fear about you, right?
Right.
So that they will step back. To
Right.
those who are happy, willing to die. So there's no way, there's no,
you can't
oh my
negotiate
God,
with it.
There's no cure, nothing.
You can't negotiate.
I don't care.
There's one cure, that's all.
All together, 3 words, I don't care.
Right.
So whatever you say, whatever you do, go ahead and kill me, whatever.
Right.
Like that kind.
Right.
Then, how are we going to do to protect ourselves? I know
That's
there are
the
moments.
question.
Okay, in the long run, justice is the win. Justice is going to win evil. That's in the long run.
Well, we hope so.
However, there are moments you have to kind of shy away from those very point. You might get yourself encountered with your life at risk.
I'm happy to
That
encounter
is
my
real.
Life at risk.
Of course, yeah. I'm not talking about you.
Right, no, but-
I'm not talking about me. I'm
but
talking
as
about
citizens.
as a world.
Right.
We all peace lovers.
Right.
As all peace lovers in the world, what are we going to do if we are confronted with those guys those animals, called that way, who are so willing to die and to die happily?
Right, right.
That's the problem.
Well, Jack, let's go back to World War II, okay? The Nazis, the Japanese, the Italians, they wanted to rule the world. They want to take over us and wage war and kill as many until we surrender. Now, the only way we won was to kill them. The only way we won that war was to overwhelm them where they had no ability to fight anymore. And at least I'll say with, like the Germans or, some of the Japanese kamikaze pilots, they were happy to die, which I still don't understand. But the soldiers didn't want to die. So there's a time, hey, let's give up, okay? Because also, if you're giving up to America, surrendering to America, America's a very kind country. And we're going to, what do we do to Japan and to Germany? We rebuild them. We help their economy. And now we have peace with them.
It looks that we are running into a dead end, trying to the left or to the right or whatever. We don't seem to find a solution that will work, at least at this moment, right? Now today, with my good friend Ken Hamming, we're touching base with the problem that we are having in Paris, with the tragedy, with the killing, everything. And he especially mentioned there is a school in California with one girl missing this morning for class. She was killed in the attack. So may God bless her. May God bless all the souls that's been taken. Anyway, let's take a short moment now. I really have lots of questions to ask. Suppose I can get an answer. If we cannot get an answer, though, probably my audience is, you hold the answer. Write to me, say, tell my DJ at gmail.com, or you can even send it direct to me, say jack@edimediainc.com. We'll be right back.